Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
Live from the City of Angels. It's Sunday night.
Comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Here comes the Hulkster.
You gotta take a stand. It don't help.
Second time we've opened with this track. Real American Hulk Hogan's theme song passed away this week. No one more influential in the world of pro wrestling than Hulk freaking Hogan, baby. And we will respect the man who was larger than life, whose headband I caught at the Ohio State Fair. Welcome to the Sunday Evening Spectacular, live from Los Angeles. It's a shame to see some people drag a dude who literally passed away hours before these tweets came out. This guy's racist, this guy's a piece. Imagine having zero dignity about yourself and sending that stuff out after someone passes away. I mean, it's just timing, man. You just don't do that. Disrespectful. And this man was pro wrestling in the 80s, so of course we're going to be down with that because that was a big part of my childhood. All right, guys, welcome in here on this Sunday night. We got a big show. We've got Scott Menzel joining us live here in just a bit. But we do have breaking news here on this Sunday. Here we go. Let's do it. And I want to let you guys know that I have put in a request. We might, I have my fingers crossed, be joined by JT Molnar. I can tell you this. He follows me on Twitter. I have DM'd him. We have conversed in the past. He came up to me at the premiere of Strange Darling and went out of his way to say, Eric Weber, I watched your stream. He was really nice. And you can see right here, he just tweeted out a picture of Leatherface. There were rumors that JT Molnar was going to direct a remake or a re-envisioning of this horror classic. And apparently with this tweet, we have confirmation that that's what's going to happen. And as you can see here, my reaction to this is, based on what I saw from Strange Darling, right? This is the right guy to direct a 16 millimeter raw remake or re-envisioning of TCM. Not a lot of directors that I can think of off the top of my head that would be better than JT to get this done. As you guys know, he also writes. He's writing that new King adaptation that's coming out here in a few weeks, Lionsgate, The Long Walk, right? And I think that he can, again, based on that Strange Darling, the look and feel of that, I can see that transferring directly into Leatherface and Chainsaw Massacre. So there we go. If it happens, I'll let you know. Obviously, we'll break in with JT Molnar, but the call is out. The DM is in, and we will get to that should it occur. JT, if you're watching, I promise I'll keep you for like 2 minutes. You just have to tell me what the general plan is. That's it. Not going to ask you anything else, and then we'll let you go. It's that simple. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's talk about something that's very alarming here, okay? And I know I talk about this quite often here on MMT. We have to start protecting theaters, okay? When I look at where we are in the theatrical world right now, at the kind of close of summer now, we have August, but really the last big film is in. It's Fantastic Four. We're not getting anything huge anytime soon. We'll go through the schedule and talk about that with Menzel in a few minutes. But if we want to see this thing turn around, we've got to. And this is not, before we've had this discussion about you need to, it really has to happen. Tonight, the glasses are off for a moment. And I'm talking directly again to you, Adam Aaron. You make, some say, $20 million a year. And for $20 million, the fact that you still have not gotten theatrical windows in place is a travesty, an embarrassment on your part, and you should be straight up ashamed of the fact that you hold power and are powerless to use said power. This is unacceptable. How anyone thinks that the CEO of the biggest theatrical chain in the U.S., most influential in AMC, isn't capable of getting at least a 60-day window reinstalled on theatrical releases. It makes no sense how this hasn't happened. And look, as we go, this is why I'm talking about this, because we need to get back to the windows. Look at Universal. They're the worst. They just put Jurassic World Rebirth in early July, and now it's coming out in early August on digital. Unacceptable. And Adam Aaron has been quoted in Deadline as saying, well, we really want to get it done. Let me tell you something, Adam Aaron. You saying, oh, we really want to get it done isn't going to get jack shit done, bro. You got to get out there and make it happen. I talk about that all the time here on MMT. You have to go get it. It's yours. Especially at your salary. I would come in tomorrow for 1/20th of that. Well, I'm not doing it for less than $1 million because I'm going to get it done in 48 hours max. The phone call is going to go exactly how I've told you before. Do I have everyone on the line? Universal, Warner Brothers, Sony, Paramount. Where's A24? Oh, they definitely don't want to hear from me. Yep, hi A24. Neon, good to see you. Here's what's going to happen. As of September 1st, you are going to give us a 60-day window of theatrical exclusivity. If you do not, your films will not play at AMC. And then the Zoom call's over. There's no back and forth. I'm not talking to the president of Universal or Zaslav at Warner Brothers. I'm not doing that. That's the deal. There's no negotiating here. I'm taking 30 days off of what used to be. So this is generous of me. But no, Universal will dump it on digital within a month. Five Nights at Freddy's day and date on Peacock, remember? And it's still slayed, almost made $100 million opening weekend with it being on Peacock at the same time. I am so tired of having this discussion. It is completely unfathomable that this dude gets paid as much as he gets paid and as ineffective as anybody in any position in any company in the entire country / world. Incompetence. Embarrassing. Fucking embarrassing, man. But go back to your mansion, Adam Aaron. Enjoy that fifth martini tonight while I'm here streaming on a Sunday night trying to do what you should be doing. And not getting paid $20 million to sit on my ass in my mansion. Talking about how much you love cinema. Shit, you love money. That's what you love. If you love cinema, you would have gotten this done a long time ago. And look, as we talk about that, look what I pulled up. Box office grosses won't return to pre-COVID levels even by 2029, according to a new report. They're saying that 2030 may be the year that we get back to pre-pandemic levels of theatrical movie going. Really? Why? Why is it taking so long? And by the way, does that account for the inflation calculator? So you're not going to have as many people going, but because the price of the ticket's so expensive, now we have levels where we were. Because that's what we talked about too, right? These windows getting blown out and people knowing they can just wait a couple of weeks. It'll be on digital. Shades are going back on. I'm done. I'm done scolding Adam Aaron. When you put those windows back in, then at least you start the process of healing. But as it is, there isn't any. You got to make theatrical exclusive and premium, as we've seen with IMAX and all the PLF surge in popularity. That's all a big part of where we need to go. We need to build more IMAXs, more Dolbys, more Primes, more RDXs and 4DXs. Because that's what the movie-going public has shown a great interest in, especially on the bigger event films of Fantastic Four, open to 118. We'll see if that goes higher when you get the actual that comes in. That'll be tomorrow. And I bet it goes a little higher than that. So we have to get things corrected. And if we don't, then we're all going to suffer. And that is where you should all be worried. This matters more than anything else we've ever discussed here on MMT. And we've got a lot to talk about with our guest tonight. Scott Menzel joins us now, live from across the street in Los Angeles. You're close. We can meet up for a beer afterwards. We'll meet halfway. That would be the easiest way to do this. Hey, man, listen, thanks for coming on. We've got a lot to talk about. And one thing that I want to start with is just what I laid out about this lack of windows, right? That we don't have any protection on these films. And I am putting forth the argument that that is greatly affecting film and movie going because people know they're getting it at home really soon. Would you agree with that or not?
I'm mixed on this. This is something that I feel very mixed on.
Tell me why.
Okay. Because not every film is dropped immediately on streaming.
Okay. But enough are.
No, I would say a lot of like Universal titles are. Like Universal,
we just called Universal
probably
out,
the one
right?
that's
Yep.
the most notable
Mm-hmm.
of like when they're going to shove something on Peacock or digital or whatever. The other ones, I don't feel like they really advertise it. And I don't think that there is that short of a window. Like, it doesn't seem as short of a window. And why I'm a little like hesitant on it responding to this is because I think my issue is you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Why
You
can't
just
we?
can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Why can't we? Tell me why.
Because habits have changed.
I know that, but you can reestablish habits.
There's too much content out there being produced for free.
That's true.
Across every single kind of platform imaginable.
I know, and we talked about how YouTube is the biggest platform in the world now. We're broadcasting on YouTube here tonight, and you talk about the growth of that alone, and you're right, it has cut into the movie-going pie, but if you bring the window back and they all have to play by the 60-day window, then everybody knows that if you want to watch the movie, you either see it now or you wait 2 months. That's big.
But I think that works for tentpole movies. I think we talk about this all the time with like smaller independent films. I don't really think that saving smaller independent films is a thing anymore. Like, even we've seen this, like Life of Chuck. We're going to use this as the example. You could not have had any more glowing reviews than Life of Chuck. And we saw what happened with that at the box office. Your favorite movie of last year, Anora, despite all of
Don't get me started.
All of the hype around it, all of the critics, everyone saying how great this was, being a best picture front runner, all this conversation could not save it from getting more attention at the box office. So I really think it's just we're dealing with a different time, and people are excited to go see movies that feel like they're events, and they want to participate in an event because they don't want it to be ruined or spoiled. But like you've been saying on this show for the past couple of weeks, and I agree with you, we've had these conversations offline, is that the box office is just bad. Like, I mean, we can keep talking about Fantastic Four and Jurassic World and Superman and all these things because the numbers look better than a lot of these other films in the marketplace, but they're down. They're down, and that's not even including like inflation. I mean, when you start putting all these pieces together, this is a really sad state of affairs for movie theaters and for movies in general.
And we're going to look at the schedule here momentarily, but going from this point forward, the last big film of the summer is Fantastic Four.
Yes.
We are done with big event films, exactly what you're talking about, what drives the box office now. And without those, these little films are going to be bigger trouble because not as many people are even going to be going and paying attention because it takes a Fantastic Four or a Superman to get everyone talking about movies as opposed to the past when you could get a smaller film that popped. We saw a little bit of that Sinners, but that's alarming too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When we look at
I mean, Sinners, you know, again, it was a movie that I think spoke to a much larger audience. I think the movie there was a shock factor to Sinners. I know you and I completely disagree about Sinners, but I think most people went into Sinners thinking it was going to be bad. I think like everyone kind of said, like, what is this marketing campaign? You know, and they kind of had low expectations, and then the reactions came out and everyone was super like through the roof about it. And I would agree that it is kind of overrated in terms of like the amount of love. And that's the problem with the space in general, is that there's not realistic expectations. Like, people just like something hits and they're just like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Like, let's talk about this. And this should be seen by every person in America. It's like, no, not everyone's going to like Sinners as much as, you know, a lot of people like it.
You mean like me?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not everyone's going to like Sinners, but, I don't know. I think that there's that shock appeal to it, right? Like, I don't think everyone expected to be as good as it was. And I think that kind of carries a lot of weight.
Okay, let's look here at the schedule, and you can see what's coming up here. Let me pull it up. Let me get the right thing up. Okay, so let's talk about what's coming in the next few weeks in the films that may be able to do some damage. Because, like I said, Fantastic Four is the last big movie of the year this summer. The next big film that I see could be Avatar. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's, Wicked, Avatar, those three. But until then, look, okay, let's start with next week. Bad Guys 2 and Naked Gun. Okay, Sully's in here asking me, what do you think this film will do on Naked Gun? People do want comedies, and people remember the original without question. But, I mean, what are we talking about? On a good opening, maybe 20, 25? Can it get above that?
I don't think so. I would think it'd be lucky if it gets 25.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think people get all drawn into this film Twitter discussion, right? Like, oh my God, Naked Gun, and then you get the reality of the average person, and they're like, eh. And then they also know that a movie like Naked Gun, to your point, is not really an event film. So you say, well, I don't really need to see it in IMAX. I mean, why would you ever go to see Naked Gun in a PLF? Like, I'm going to see Naked Gun in 4DX. What? What are we doing? Right? Well, this is the thing, right? We've turned into this amusement park ride kind of thing. And movies like Naked Gun, again, just viewed as the average person, they say, I can wait. And I think that's the other issue. Back to your Life of Chuck, same thing. Unless you're the gigantic film that costs $200 million and everyone's talking about, then they're probably not going to be interested. And that's worrisome because we're getting to the point where there's nothing here.
The one thing that you always forget, and I'm just going to say
Go ahead, hit me
and
with
I know, and this is something that's going to be very controversial, and the industry is going to be like,
Oh, no.
But like, a lot of these movies don't need to be seen in a theater.
Oh, I agree with you.
Like, I think when you watch certain movies, there is no reason to see Life of Chuck in the theater. And I like Life of Chuck a lot, but there's no reason to see it in the theater.
I completely agree with you. Zero.
It doesn't feel that way. Like, in a weird way, I saw Edington over the weekend, and
we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
we'll do it in a little bit.
It was just interesting, though, just to talk about the theater experience with that.
Right.
Because there's certain moments in the movie where people reacted. Like, what are you going to react to? Like, at film festivals, again, you always ask me why I go to film festivals.
Right.
Film festivals, like, is this weird experience. You have to do one once just to kind of see what it's like. But it's really weird because you kind of feel like it's a magical feeling, like you're like, I'm seeing something for the very first time. And half the time I sit there and I see the reaction from something and I look around me and I'm like, what movie did everyone watch? And then other times, like, I'll totally get sucked into it and I'll really feel the magic of the movie.
Right.
But that really, at the end of the day, is so rare. Because it's just like, it feels like an event. Again, I'm talking about event. Why does this film festivals work? They feel like events. You're there in the movie with all the stars. The director's coming out. The festival programmers are coming out. You feel special. It feels special. When I go watch Life of Chuck at the Lemley 16 or whatever.
Wasn't special.
Nothing special about it.
I saw it at the 8. At AMC, and there's like 5 of us in there.
I know.
You know what's funny you say that, because last night we've got tonight's MMT evaluation on the way. Last night I went to see Bambi: The Reckoning. Okay, now let me tell you that it's a goofy, Winnie the Pooh horror. Same guys did this. Okay, with Bambi the killer deer. But here's the thing: is to your point. As I get there, I walk up the stairs at the 8. It's in theater number 1, which is awesome. I love that theater. And they have the little, placard there, where the little poster. And I'm like, what's going on? Is this like a premiere? What's it? And then I sit down, and the director comes walking up along with the cinematographer, and they start talking about Bambi: The Reckoning. And in this weird way, it made it better because, again, to your point, it felt more special watching Bambi: The Reckoning. The director sat 2 seats away from me. I was like, wow, this is cool. I mean, I used to do that a lot, but you do it all the time, and you're right. I'm not going to argue. There is just that little extra bit of juice.
No, and that's what it is. It's like why the studios know on opening weekend for smaller independent films, right? They did it with like Real Pain. I think they're doing it with Together next week when it comes out. They're doing screenings where Dave and Allison are going to come out with Michael.
Burbank's big for that now.
And they're going to go around and they're going to do it. And it's because they build up hype. It's like when Superman showed up to a couple of the screenings.
Yes.
Or, when Brie Larson handed out popcorn for the first Captain Marvel movie. Remember? When she was going around to all the...
Right.
Like, those are like events. Like, they feel like you're part of something that's special that you're not going to get at home. And that's why, again, my rational behavior behind film festivals is to be part of that experience, to experience something for the first time so it feels unique, it feels special. Do I think it's absolutely ridiculous how much it costs? 100%. Can I justify half the time that I go? Probably not. But at the end of the day,
it's not cheap, dude. You fly
it's not cheap.
Think about it. You fly to Toronto. Let's just use Toronto, right? Or go ahead and use what's it called? Telluride. Any of them, Telluride, right? You go there. You pay for the hotel. You pay. It's not cheap. And I know it's nice. You get all the movies out of the way. Although you know how I feel about that. I like to see one movie a day, and that's it. I need a break.
No,
but,
they really,
it's expensive.
No, it really. The festival experience is very interesting because unlike a lot of the people who just kind of go from praise the praise the praise. Which
God.
Which I noticed in, like, a lot of these festivals, and I'm like, this is not really true. Like, this can't happen. Like, every movie cannot be good.
Well, we talked about that with the shill factor, without question.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. Because again, it's that whole factor of you're in the room, all the awards people are there, like the publicists, all of the studios are there, all the directors are there, like all these factors are in play.
But who cares? So, I don't care.
To them, right? You're walking out of a thing, everyone's gonna know who you are.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about that funny experience I had at Sundance? I was a couple years back, and it's a movie you and I disagree on, which is Zola. I hated Zola.
Okay.
I walked out of that theater.
I actually like Zola.
I tweeted about it. I was like, this is such shit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like standing around at the bus, and I'm hearing everyone reading my tweet out loud. Like, it's like, boy, this guy really didn't like it. I'm just standing there.
It's great.
Listening to all
That's
these
why you're here.
Like, people like talking about it. But it's also like, from a filmmaker's point of view, like, you ruin that like, it's a weird thing. Like, you ruin that person's day. They read that. I've had publicists
you
write
can't
me.
think like that.
No, I'm not saying I do.
I
but
know.
I'm just I'm basing it off experience, telling you what has happened. I've had publicists reach out and be like, "Oh, the filmmaker, this person from the movies, is very upset about your tweet, or like is so disappointed about your tweet."
Like good.
But it's no, but I get it, because again, when you go to these events, right, there's mixers involved, there's after parties involved. So you're going to show your face coming out of the theater and go like, oh, okay, I hated, I don't know, Good Boys. Let's just use that as an example, because that was a movie I really hated. And they, and then go to an after party and talk to everybody and go say like, oh, hey, everybody from Good Boys, how are you? Like, you're not going to show your face.
Yes. That's why in that case, like, let's say, I think, what was that Ben Affleck Amazon movie where he was the bar owner in Boston? It's based on a book. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think you went there too. It was like the big thing for the Tender Bar, and it was down at the Roosevelt. I came out of the movie, and it's just like, this isn't great. But I didn't send any tweets. I went in, had a drink, hung out with some people, and then I'm like, I'm out of here. Then I sent the tweet. So I would hold until the party's over, and then, now if I'm not going to the after party, like when we went to go see The Gray Man, and they let you go to I didn't get to go. Just remember how that went. Everybody who's never heard the story, we go to see The Gray Man. By the way, here's the the popcorn box that I still have with both of the leads. Here's the thing. So we go and we're walking down to get into The Gray Man. It's at the Chinese Theater here in Los Angeles, obviously. That's where we are. And I start walking down the carpet, and you're with me, and we're talking, and we're going in. And then we get to a fork in the road, and then one of the publicists is like, hey, Scott, you come this way. Eric, you go that way. And I go down this hallway, and I end up in the theater, and I'm like, what's going on? But here's the big kick in the nuts. It wasn't just that I was in the theater. You went out to the red carpet, or I think it was purple carpet, and the gray carpet.
That whole after party.
Okay, and you were out there drinking, but no, this gets worse. It's not just that you were out there and I'm in the theater. They were live streaming everybody drinking outside as I was sitting down in the theater, not able to partake in the fun, and I saw you drinking out at the bar. And you wonder why I hate Netflix. No, honestly, it has nothing to do. But I'm just saying, if you're going to treat someone like that and be that disrespectful, I hated the movie. But even if you let me go to the carpet, I would have hammered The Gray Man. But yes, I get it. That's part of the game. You got to go to these things. But that's why I don't like going to them, Scott. Because then you have to hold yourself back. I don't want to restrain myself.
Do you remember when you and I went to the first screening of Being the Ricardos?
Yes, and I didn't hate it. I liked it way more than you.
Yes, but remember when Aaron Sorkin came in the room at the after party and they walked right past us? Remember that? Right. And they went over to the other people who said positive things
and Nicole Kidman. And typically that's how it would ever go whenever I show up. They're like, oh, God, this guy's here. Let's just go this way. I mean, certainly the other critics, which is perfect. It makes perfect sense. It works for everyone. But yes, that they do want to give the attention to the people that are lavishing the praise.
And I love Sorkin, and I didn't give that right. I wasn't that
you didn't
on it. I was like, kind of like, yeah, it's fine.
But they know.
But
the studios are aware.
They wanted that grand reaction of like, man, this is the masterpiece of all masterpieces.
Well, they take, like you said, they keep score.
Yes.
And then they use that. And I remember this is like story night, but this is great. I've told the story. Now you were there, so I want you to verify. We saw The Whale, and you were like, this is my favorite movie ever. I go to see The Whale. We walk out the back door because it's over at the London, right? And we walk out, and we're sitting there, and here's Brendan Fraser, here's Sadie Sink, and whoever else, and the A24 Hung Chow was there, and the A24 reps were like, "What do you think?" And you know me, like if you ask me, I can't hold back. I go, "Oh, dudes, this is not good. This is bad." And I had to restrain myself. But guess what? I didn't do. I didn't talk to Brendan Fraser. I didn't talk to Sadie Sink. Like I stayed away from all of them, and I removed myself from the room because I can't play that game. I'm not saying you do because you like the movie, but you know what I mean. Like you have to be able to do that a little bit, and that I think is dangerous because you can't fully go after some of these films because you're afraid that someone might not like it. And I'm not saying you do that, but that you're kind of pointing a little in that direction because you don't want to make someone feel bad in the moment, but later you shouldn't care, should you?
No, I mean, but at the same time, I don't want to feel censored either, which is also part of the problem is because and this is I've had these conversations with people about awards centered films is that we get invited to a lot of stuff to go to every kind of screening.
Don't include me in
you
that.
Used to.
Thank you. What's the key word there? Used to. Those are the two words. Thank you. Yes. Occasionally I get invited, but very rarely now. But it's fine.
But
it's all good.
The thing is that I really and I've told publicists this and I say it on this stream is that I don't like going to things where I'm not going to actually champion it or like it. Like where I don't like it. Yeah. Because like I don't understand the point of that. Like I remember the funniest story, one of the funniest stories was when Coda came out and I was at an event, one of the Apple events.
I went with you to one.
Yeah, it wasn't that one, it was another one. And the Apple team came up to me and they said, "Oh, we're doing a screening of Tragedy of Macbeth tomorrow night, and Denzel's going to be there. Don't you want to come and meet Denzel?" And I said no, because I didn't like that movie. No. Oh. Because the day when I meet Denzel Washington, I want it to be for something that I can go to him and be like, wow, like, you're so great in this. Like, I love this. And then I can kind of go down the rabbit hole of other things that I loved him in. I don't want him to go, "Oh, hey, what'd you think of the film?" And I go, "It's a boring piece of crap."
Well, because you can't lie. You're like me. You have the same problem. You have liar syndrome, right? From the movie Jim Carrey. You guys know he can't tell a lie. I have the same problem. I can't. Like, if someone asks me, I'm like, well, yeah. Like Paul Walter Hauser. I remember we went to go see the Richard Jewell movie, and they had the big premiere party over at the Roosevelt again. And I'm in the room, and we're hanging out, okay? And we've talked. You know Paul. I know Paul. He all of a sudden I'm not kidding, dude. The room was packed full of people, and he all of a sudden goes, "Weber, dude!" And he pulls me up on the stage where he's talking to people. I'm just like, "Hey," and he's like, "What'd you think?" I'm like, "Hey, you're really good in it." He goes, "Well," and I go, "Well," and he just knew, and I'm like, he gets it. Like Paul understands, but most people would probably say, "Oh my God, it's so great," but in the moment, I just can't. And I know you're the same way. Even like Kristen Stewart, who you love, if her movie sucks, you're gonna be like, "This isn't that good."
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I admire about Kristen Stewart is that she actually acknowledges the fact that she's in bad movies. I mean, I remember having a conversation with her one time, and we were like talking about her filmography, and she's like, "Yeah, that movie wasn't good. That movie wasn't good." Like she's totally aware of it. I mean, you're gonna have a disagreement with an actor every once in a while or a filmmaker where they're going to think that this movie, like a certain movie, was really good, and you're going to be like, "Nah, I didn't care for it." But I think that's it. I mean, the guy who you slam all the time, Jason Blum.
How did you know that? Is the word gotten out?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, I have a really great story with Jason Blum. Actually, way back when the first Purge movie came out,
Mm-hmm.
I was
That's going back a long way.
Yeah, it was a long time. I was still living in Philly at the time, so we're going back like 12, 14 years at this point, whatever the hell that was.
Yep.
So I did an interview with him, and we sat down, and the first thing he asked me before we even started the interview was, "What'd you think of the movie?" And I said, "Do you want my honest take on it?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "I really like the political part of the movie. I thought the first half of the movie was really interesting and really solid." I said, when it goes into this killing spree and everything like that, I said it gets really ridiculous, and I didn't like it as much. So, but he was interested. He said, we were going to try to do it more seriously, but it didn't test well. Blah 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 blah. So, we had that conversation, but every time that I've seen him afterwards, he's always kind of asked my opinion on like things, and I actually admire that about him, even though like
he remembers it.
He remembers that kind of having that honest conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I also remember I had that similar conversation to, the director of Room, Lenny Abrahamson. Is that his name?
That's right. Yes. I like Room.
So I love Room.
First
I
half's
saw that
unbelievable.
at TIFF,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so excited to do that interview. And, that was before Brie was Captain Marvel and was like in every fucking amazing indie films. I mean, like
Short
literally
Term
go back and oh my god, Short Term 12 is amazing.
Thank you. Look how many people came out of Short Term 12.
Oh my god, Rami Malek, Caitlin Dever. Yeah, I mean, it's
crazy.
Great movie. Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield.
Yep.
That movie was phenomenal. But no, what's interesting is just I had that similar thing because he asked me he's like, "Did you see Frank?" And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't really like it. I saw it at South by." But that's just kind of how I am with like a lot of the filmmakers. Like I'll tell them I'm like, you're really not like this movie I love, but that one wasn't that great. And I think that's really something that they don't hear that often. I think they get told every time they do a movie that their movies are amazing.
Yep. Because the most people in the space do that.
And I I like having those conversations. And again, there's certain filmmakers, I'm sure if James Gunn came up to me on the street and goes, "Hey man, hey Menzel, what you think about Superman?" And then I started telling him, he'd be like, "This guy's never come into my thing ever again."
I know.
But
they take it personally, but it's fine.
It's the vibe I get, right? Like it's just certain filmmakers or certain producers are very open to that kind of dynamic, even actors. I've had that conversation with like Amelia Jones before about like certain movies she's been in. Like I kind of say, these don't feel like they elevate you. Like they're kind of like, these feel like smaller streaming movies. Like they don't really showcase like your true abilities. So like I can have these conversations with people, but it's like building that relationship up. But again, we're all about, just kind of sucking up to every single person.
I don't know who you're not talking to me about that.
I know you don't.
I ain't never done that. I mean, it just isn't in my nature. Someone makes a good point here. A24 should have pushed After Sun. Oh my God, yeah, that was one of the best films of 2022. Not The Whale. Sorry, Scott, we're gonna drag you. But before we transition,
I know. I already see a couple people over here in this chat.
They were asking for this. I promised I would do this, guys. So get ready. This guy pointed. Hold on, that way. This guy right here. He said that I Know What You Did Last Summer was that your favorite movie of the summer or something, dude? What? How can you like that movie when you got Freddie Prinze Jr., that reveal? It was the worst thing I ever seen when that happened.
I mean, I had fun with the movie. I really did. And again,
you can't defend that.
What? I actually like the twist. I mean, if you go back and watch the first movie,
I don't want
the whole. I watched it. It was a rare situation where I went back and I watched the first one.
Yeah,
because I haven't seen it in so long. Again, those are movies that you grow up.
I know, but I haven't either. But I don't want to watch it again.
Going down the rabbit hole now. Like I started watching Can't Hardly Wait. today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish it tonight.
Yeah,
But
all
it's
those
like
90s films.
I just like those movies. Like they're such pivotal times in your life. You know, like so
Maybe
many of
that's
the 80s,
why you liked
80 films. But no, I mean, listen, I think, and I said this, like, if you're gonna ask me right here, gun to my head, the first like 3 Scream movies or the first 2 I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, right? It's no question. The first 3 Scream movies are superior in every way.
100%.
But once you get
But I
to
still
Scream
don't love those.
4, but you
Yeah.
still get to Scream 4,
Yeah.
and then whatever these last things are, which I don't know what they are, like, I'm sorry, like, if you're comparing those 2 franchises, I think this movie does a better job than those.
This is adjust your glasses if Sony held someone dear to you hostage. No, he just did. He's touching his glasses because it does suck, Kuzma. It was so bad, but it's okay. I mean, listen, I'll let you off the hook because it doesn't matter. It's inconsequential ultimately.
J-Love, yes.
I mean, if you loved a film, you know, that was like The Whale, I mean, there's certain films, but I mean, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Fine, forget it. I mean, it's not doing well at the box. So I don't care.
Am I going to sit here and say it's the best movie of am I going to talk about it? Going to praise it for like the rest of the year? Scream 4, Scream 5
and 6 are not good, dude.
I have to go back and watch 4. Was 4 the
You're
one
gonna
with?
go watch these again?
There's
no chance I'm watching this shit again.
Is Scream 4 the one with Hayden Panettiere? Is that where she's the main
she
character
showed up in? Wasn't she in the last one?
She showed up in one of them. I know.
Yeah, one of the last ones.
Was that when she was introduced? Was in 4? Is that one? No, but I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't know. Dude, I'm not a huge like Scream or any of these things. You're a 90s kid. I'm an 80s kid. So I care about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, there's a classic. No one's talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer like a classic horror film. You are, Scott, but you got to go back to the 80s.
No, I'm not calling it a classic horror film.
Okay, good. I know.
They were, but what was crazy about it, if you go back to the 90s,
yeah.
Those were the 2 staple movies of the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Of horror. Like, it was
no
like
question.
Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then there was all the fun, like, one-off movies.
Yep.
The one-off movies, like Valentine. Did you see that one?
My Bloody Valentine. I don't think I saw Valentine.
Valentine was very cool.
No.
There was
is it better than Hard Eyes, another film that you loved?
I loved Hard Eyes. Oh my God. How do you not love? You don't
Hard Eyes.
That was so fun. That's better than I Know What You Did Last Summer. That was better than
it's the antithesis of fun. That was awful. Hard Eyes was like gouging my eyes out for the entire time. I hate horror comedies. I hate horror comedies. They're never good.
How about Idle Hands? Remember that one? Did you like that one?
Watch out, Kuzma. Watch out, buddy. But listen, I prefer to consider myself Benjamin Button. Let's just keep it that way. But no, seriously, dude. I mean, the best horror came from the 80s.
How about The Faculty? The Faculty was great,
I don't even remember that
that
very much. That was a 90s movie, too. Yeah, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. The Valentine was with David Boreanaz. Is that right?
Yes.
However you say his name.
Yeah.
Sony horror are the same level as Blumhouse, which means they both suck. Because, dude, Sony has. Yeah, did you even see Tarot?
No.
No.
Of course
okay,
I didn't see that movie.
Did you see Thanksgiving?
Unfortunately, that movie was atrocious. That's
thank
like
you.
One of the worst
At least we're on the same page. And then did you see Until Dawn?
We saw it together.
Oh yeah, remember? Forgettable. Sony sucks, man.
That was so sad because if you go back and watch David F. Sandberg's like original horror movies, like Lights Out and even the second like Annabelle movie, they were so great. Like the tone and the vibe that he created. That movie was so generic. It was so generic Until Dawn.
People are saying Valentine's good. Maybe I should watch it.
It is fun.
Is it
fun?
Okay. Is it better than I Know What You Did Last Summer, the remake? We're gonna pin him down. We're gonna pin him down right now. Which one's better?
I mean, I think it is because again, I think movies in that time were just better. I think it's like
I mean, that's fair.
I think 90s. I think those movies were fun. I'm trying to think what else came out around that time.
Well,
There's
that's
a lot
when
of them.
movies mattered more too. We talked about that. I mean, I remember seeing Armageddon in Old Town Pasadena, right there in Colorado, and the line was wrapped around the building. Like movies were a big fucking deal. You didn't have reserved seating; you had to get there early. What?
Urban Legend.
Yeah, I remember that.
Urban Legend was
Dude,
fun.
you know what I love? One of my favorite horror films, early 2000s, was Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
Not
Jeepers Creepers, the first one. Oh, it's so
thank
good.
Thank you.
So
The
good.
sequels are awful. Second one's okay.
Second one's okay. The third and fourth. Oh,
one of the worst things I've ever seen. The third one.
Yeah.
And then the last one, like in a carnival, that was bad. Someone needs to just completely reboot it. But I don't even think there's a reason to remake it. It's so good. The first one's perfect. Just leave it.
I mean,
right?
minus the child molester of the director. But.
I mean, yes, but you just remove yourself, right? Okay, let's talk before we let you roll, because I got to watch a couple trailers. Let's talk about what's coming out, and then when is the next big hit, like huge, okay? Weapons is going to outperform, but outperforming means maybe 35 million on a debut weekend. That's not a huge film, right?
Yeah.
Then you go the next weekend, Nobody 2. That's not a huge film. That's maybe 30 if you're lucky. If you're lucky, 30. Okay, then we go to August 22nd. Honey, Don't. Oh, God, is that Cohen thing?
Yep.
Oh, that looks awful. Did you see that?
I didn't see it. No, it debuted at Cannes. I didn't see it.
Okay. Oh my God. No, that looks unwatchable. Then you have
I saw Eden, which is not good.
Yeah.
This is they're doing the Sydney Sweeney. Let's dump these movies.
Is she in that?
Yeah, she's in that one, and she's also in Americana, which I haven't seen yet. I'm waiting to see if Americana has Paul Walter Hauser in it as well.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I heard very mixed things about it.
Okay, Caught Stealing looks unwatchable.
Oh, it does. 100%.
Right? I mean, that tone and all that. And then you've got, dude, I love Austin Butler. You go back and you look at Elvis. It's prominently featured here on the FYC screener wall here at MMT. You look at his performance, oh my God. But then you watch this. He's doing like Johnny Depp. He's doing something. He's doing this accent, like trying to be the cool guy. And remember, I've talked about this on the stream many times. You don't act like the cool guy, you just are, and I think he is the cool guy, but he's trying so hard to be the cool guy that I don't know, dude. Caught Stealing looks really fucking awful. I will be surprised if I don't come out of that movie and say it's one of the worst things I've ever seen, or certainly one of the worst films of the year. I'll be shocked.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I mean,
no,
I don't
the
know.
tone of that, right? Everything about it, and someone even came in early with the comment and said that looks bad. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm 100%. The radar's up on that, and it looks awful. Conjuring is September 5th. That's not a huge film.
I still can't believe we're still going.
I know, no, trust me, 100%. That's the big film, September 5th. September 12th, Downton Abbey. I can't believe we're doing another Downton Abbey. Why are we doing another one? Who cares? I don't even care about that. Why are they still making those? The last one didn't even do well, did it?
No,
I don't think so.
As well as the first one. No, it didn't. Do as well.
Then you have A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, which looks intriguing because I like Kaganda, right? I think that could work. That's my kind of thing. Then Him.
But it's going to bomb. It's going to bomb hard.
Well, I hear you. I know 100%. Him, which looks like The Substance.
That will do okay.
Okay, but let's call it 25 million. Again, we're not talking about anything over 50, and we're like we're weeks out now. We're in the end of September.
I'm going through it with you too.
Okay, end of September.
That we have
one battle after another.
And Gabby Dollhouse. I mean, that's going to make so
What
much
the hell
money.
is Gabby's Dollhouse?
It's
I know what
based
that
on
is.
a Disney Channel show.
I have no idea. Why is it a Universal movie then?
Chapter 2.
That's awful. Strangers 1 was one of the worst things I've ever seen. No, but one battle. Let's talk quickly about one battle after another, because I can tell that the tone on this film is going to be, again, disastrous, right? It just isn't going to work. You can just see it. I guarantee you it's going to not work. But here's the thing. Did you notice on that second trailer? We watched it last week. Have you seen the second trailer? It loses all of the goofiness and drills down on the edginess. Even though the jokes are still there, it's underneath like a tough, like kind of R&B rap kind of thing. And it just changes the tone because Warner Brothers knows the tone isn't going to work. And I could have seen that. Oh, dude, Scott, I listen, I love PTA. We both know he has some great films. But listen, I'm calling it here tonight, and I know I'm going to be right. This is going to be an absolute train wreck of a film. Other than guess who's going to be great? You know who, okay? But that's it. It's not. I'm telling you, man. You just watch. And people are saying, well, you're already judging it. Well, of course. I said that about Mickey 17. Was I right about Mickey 17, Scott?
Worst movie of the year.
Thank you. I called that weeks out. And I had some clown coming after me on Twitter going, oh, this guy doesn't know anything. Oh, then you watch Mickey 7. Who knew? You can tell from the trailer. It's not going to work. No, let's quickly talk about Edington because then I got to watch the trailer and talk about Bambi.
We got to go through the rest of these.
Okay.
So the Smashing Machine, which comes out on
not
October
a big film.
3rd, it's not a big film, but it looks great.
Oh, Shelby Oaks. What about Shelby Oaks?
October 10th.
Chris
Roofman. Not going to do that great. That's when Tron comes out.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Tron could do like 75.
Yeah, you're too high. What do you think the last one opened at? Take a guess.
50, right?
44.
Oh, it made less than 50.
That's what I'm saying. Tron is a film Twitter film. You know, even though I have my Tron guy, Sark, he's right here. This is original figure, by the way, Scott. Even though I'm not the nerd channel, he still has this disc on the back. Do you see it? So I'm old school, okay? But no, Tron is not a guarantee. But listen, okay, let's put the ceiling at 70, but let's put the realistic number at 50. Okay? But again, 50, not 100, not 75, 50.
No.
Okay, then after that, what do you got? Black Phone 2?
We got Black Phone 2,
30?
which I heard is supposed to be great. But
okay, well, fine. If it's great, let's put it to 35.
Okay. Good Fortune's going to bomb.
What is that?
After the Hunt. Good Fortune's that one with Seth Rogen as the Ansari that they've been trying to push. I've seen advertisements for this movie for about 3 years now.
Well, it's from Lionsgate, so it's totally dead. We know that.
They got to do that. After the Hunt is the Luca Gardner, however you fucking pronounce his name.
Guadagnino.
No,
I believe
his
I said
movie,
it right.
which probably be a big awards player, but probably won't do that well.
Nope. Mortal
Kombat 2. Lucky if it makes like 50 million. What's Regretting You? I don't know what that is.
No idea. Springsteen, that'll be great. But not a huge. How about 25-30 on the debut?
Okay. Will it do as much as Complete Unknown, you think, or no?
It's Springsteen. Springsteen's bigger than Dylan. I feel like he's more mainstream right now, especially because he's been more recent as far as the hits. Let's call it 30-35.
Okay.
And if it's great, higher. But again, we're still not talking about anything that's 50 or above.
How much do you think? Okay, and then we got to skip
Predator
all the way ahead. Yeah, I was going to say Predator and then Running Man.
Running Man 40.
Man, 40. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, probably 20, 25.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Predator? No way.
And then Wicked's probably the only one that's going to kind of come in at like 75 or higher.
That's correct. Wicked is going to be the
highest.
Oh
my God, they made a CISO 2 or whatever the hell.
I know, dude. Did you see the first one? First one's bad. I was told it was so great, and I watched that CISO, and I'm like, this is the same shit over and over.
Why?
I hate Nazis. I'm going to kill Nazis because it's probably cost nothing. These people have no creativity. They just said, let's just rehash the same shit.
Now, why would you do this? Okay, let me ask you this $1 million question, right?
Yep.
You're going to put Wicked for Good and Zootopia 2
out Zootopia 2 is going to be huge.
Literally 5 days apart.
Dumb.
When you literally have nothing else playing for like fucking the last 3 months.
100%. Because they're both family films.
One of them out. I know, but just move one out. Put one out at the beginning of November.
I can tell you why. Because Barbenheimer fucked it all up. Right? People are like, oh, we can have 2 movies. But the problem is listen, Barbie and Oppenheimer are totally different films, okay? So you could do that. Those 2 films are almost the same audience, Wicked and Zootopia 2. So that's not smart. You need to have
This is a rough.
The counterbalance.
This is a rough.
I know that's what I was saying. That's why I said we got to get to this tonight. Five Nights at Freddy's will be big.
Five Nights at Freddy's will be big.
First one was awful. Other than the creature design, terrible.
Our Avatar, Fire and Ash will be huge, as we know. I think Housemaid's going to do really well.
What's Housemaid?
Housemaid is based on a very popular book.
Yeah.
It's probably going to do like the Crawdads numbers.
Okay, well that was I didn't hate it.
Directed by Paul Feig, and it stars Sydney Sweeney, and Amanda Seyfried.
You got me excited with Sydney Sweeney. I'm sorry. We're allowed to talk about Sydney Sweeney's hot. This whole discussion about how is Sydney Sweeney?
No,
dude, what are you talking about?
Only gay men.
Gay men and ugly women think she's ugly. Everyone else is like, what are you talking about? Sydney Sweeney's smoking hot. Smoke show. It's absurd that we have to have these discussions. Like, who are the people leading these discussions? Can we see a picture of you? Well, now I understand why you hate Sydney Sweeney. Because the average dude looks at Sydney Sweeney and goes, she's fucking hot. I mean, come on, man.
I actually love the fact that how much she embraces it. Like
She
that's
should.
something. But it's like funny, like even all of the campaigns that she does, like it totally embraces it. And I think that's refreshing in a lot of ways because so many women nowadays, like they don't want to be seen as beautiful or it's a very strange situation that we're in right now
because you can't be toxic masculinity either. You know, I post my shirtless pictures and it makes people feel bad. Not you, Scott. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We can't fat shame. Well, I mean, if you don't go to the gym, then maybe I can say something about it. You know, I mean, that's the whole mentality, right? Yeah. You don't want to make someone feel bad. It's like, dude, I'm Gen X, man. You're a little bit behind me, but you know, we were raised like no one thought that way. It's weird.
No.
I never thought that way.
We grew up. I mean, we grew up also. I mean, in a different time. I mean, you're really like, oh shoot, you go look at all these things that we watched growing up. Like,
by the way, Luis is totally wrong. Just keep going. But
Mike. Oh
dude,
no,
dude,
no,
Luis, dude,
no,
Luis. I swear to God,
Luis,
dude. Next time I see you at AMC Burbank, I'm gonna have to have a word with you because this is fucked up. You said some things to me. I'm telling you, dude, you've crossed a line here that is so wrong. Like we need to correct Luis. Everybody jump on him for this shit. This is messed up, man. Of all the comments I've ever gotten here, and I've gotten some really weird shit. This, Luis, you have crossed a line. This is no way. There's no universe in which this is true. None. All right, Scott, you're saying
I got so sidetracked because I was like,
well, of course,
about all the movies that like you go back and you go look at movies from the 80s and 90s.
Come on, guys, keep them coming. There's going to be more. Yes, keep going. The 80s and the 90s. I'm just
saying, like, you go back and you watch like Alicia Silverstone and Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt and like Ali Larter, like all these people kind of growing up. It's pretty crazy. I agree with this comment.
Well, 100%. Yeah, when she was in her prime, not now.
I still think she's so hot right now.
Scott, can we just be honest with each other? She's gained some weight. Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying there's people discuss that and they're saying, well, you age. Well, I mean, yes and no. You still have to. As you get older, you can't just let yourself go. I'm not saying she did. I'm just suggesting that you don't have to have that happen. Okay. So, but it's fine. But I understand. She was like the poster girl. Every guy thought she was super smoking hot. And she still looks very good. I'm not going to argue that.
She does.
Right.
And I think that a lot of so hot Menzel needed a drink.
It's true. She's hot. Yeah. Let's find a picture of her. Keep talking. We'll look at her.
Well, no, I just think that like growing up in the 80s and 90s, it was a very different approach to this. But at the same 100%. Time, you know, you there should not be any shame in noting that people are attractive. I don't know what's wrong with that. Well,
hold on.
Scarlett Johansson is a gorgeous woman.
Yes.
So is Sydney Sweeney. Like,
yep.
It's like,
speaking of that, hold on. I found a Twitter account, Sydney Sweeney's boobs.
Oh, no.
Look at that. You see, this is what we're talking about. Scott's like, I got to go. No, but we're allowed. You just said you can't. We can talk about this. This whole account is literally just pictures of her. And how old Sydney Sweeney? Why does anyone think she's hot? Like, what are you talking about, bro? What planet are you living on? Everybody thinks she's hot. It's like she's mid. What are you talking about? Show me a picture of you. Yeah, this is it. Sydney Sweeney's. Oh, let's get rid of that. Sorry, Scott. Scott's a serious journalist. We don't want to do that. But again, we can have that discussion. I don't care. I'm not going to be told I cannot talk about those things. Sorry. Go find another channel. Go watch Stuckman or John's, and they tape everything. This is live. We'll do what we want to do. But yeah, there is some kind of like it's taboo. We don't want to say. But I think those are going away. People are just doing things now. They just don't care. For a while, we had to walk on eggshells, right? Like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to hit you. And now you're just like, I don't care. And you see it on Twitter, on X, for sure.
Yeah.
Right? People, I think, they're done with that. They're done being told they can't talk about something, and I am. I've been done with that forever. I mean, go back to COVID. You know, I was so outspoken about all of that stuff, and people were like, back then it was like, oh, you can't do that. I'm like, why can't I? We have to have free speech, okay? With short of like inciting violence, there's no problem with that. And you can say Sydney Sweeney's hot, and Scott, I know you agree, even if you don't want to say it. Hey, about this, what do you think? Maybe Scott, well, what do you think? Spaney or Sweeney?
I still say Sweeney on that.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. I agree. And Spaney's fine, but Johnny, you know,
she's cute. She falls in the same kind of like under the umbrella of like Caitlin Deaver. Like there's difference. Like there's I don't. Oh man, why are we getting
Scott, listen, if someone cuts this and uses it, just laugh because they will.
Okay.
Like, Scott's talking about girls that are cute. These guys are creepy. Like, shut up, dude. Just go do something else. Find something else to do with your time. Go ahead, rank them. Scott.
No. What I'm gonna say is there's certain actresses that I think are very cute.
Yep.
And then there's certain actresses that I think are sexy.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. There's a difference.
I agree. You're looking for cute and sexy.
Yes.
Right?
And there's very few that fit that.
Totally agree with you. Except for Adriana Chechik.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is? And Coach knows. Coach is watching. Coach knows exactly who that is. We're not going to get into Adriana Chechik because the channel would be banned. Okay? We can't be showing Adriana Chechik, but she's an extremely hot porn star. Okay, but yes, you're right. There's very few that meet both criteria. Oh, now you're devaluing women. We're just talking about, look, dude, we just see it. You see it. Why can't you comment on it? I mean, give me a break.
No, I think it's just, I'm so excited about, I'm like reading all these different comments now.
There's quite a few.
No, but I just think that.
I'm excited. No, I'm just I'm
excited. Why didn't you tell?
Hold on. I'm just gonna pull her up real quick because everyone's like, "Who is this?" Let's see if we can find her. The problem with this is if I find the wrong picture, we're gonna be of Adriana Chechik. We're gonna be in.
Who's asking about that?
Well, Coach says we need to see her so you can see. I'll find a picture of her that's suitable. This is her doing a live stream. Give me a second. That's not her. Hold on. Where is she? Right here. Let me zoom in. Hold on. This is Adriana Chechik. She's a big adult film star. Hold on. Where is she? There she is. Okay. She's brunette. She's petite. She's very cute. I'm not gonna. If I find other pictures and they're like racy, I'm gonna be in trouble. But yeah, I mean, we're okay. We're allowed. All right, we're allowed. Scott, I'm not gonna get you any more trouble. This is bad. This is bad.
All the people taking down notes.
Oh, who cares? Yeah, exactly. Give me a break. Okay, let's talk about Edington because I know. Just quickly, let's finish with that because I know you just watched it. I told you to see it. Scott was asking me, should I see it? And I actually said yes because I told you guys the same thing. There's enough to like here. Scott liked it more than me, but he has to agree, and we talked about it on the phone for like 45 minutes, that it's a mess. Okay?
Yeah.
There's a better version of this film, which is exactly what I said in the evaluation. But you like the ideas, and I'm with you on that with Edington.
Yeah, I mean, the ending is bonkers. Someone saying, yes, I think it goes a little bit too off the rails. The movie itself, what I loved about it was it had so many great ideas.
Yes.
And it was such a fascinating look back at a time of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And from so many different perspectives.
Agreed.
And that's what I thought was really interesting about it was that there were so many different ways to view the film. It was through the idea of like wearing a mask, the government control, not knowing what was there.
Yep.
Then it was the whole kind of Black Lives Matter. Then it turned into the violence, which we all know that kind of like, it was sort of like a 3-act play in a lot of ways. But Ari Aster threw everything he can think of in this movie.
Yes.
And that's where it kind of got a little crowded.
Well, yeah,
the best way I can describe it.
And we talked about what character needs to go, Austin Butler.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Butler's character needs to go. I mean, the Emma Stone character is very interesting, although I don't know if it really needed to be there at the end of the day. Like, I understand that it was kind of the driving force for some of the messaging of the movie,
Yes.
but I don't know. It could have been handled a lot differently,
Completely
and it
agree.
wasn't fleshed out as well as it should have been.
Well, that's
but
the
it was
thing.
interesting.
Well, yes, but again, the film is not as great as it could be if you go back in with someone else and rewrite, get rid of some characters, squeeze the runtime. Way too long at 225, okay? It's just out of control too long. If you get in there and compress, rewrite, focus, and I told you last night, ground the characters a little bit more, right? Ground everybody just a little bit more. This could have been a really great film. But as it is, it's not, because it is tremendously flawed. And you agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but I give it points for being different, for
Agreed.
really
Yes.
making audiences think when they watch it, for not picking sides when you're making a movie. This is such an easy movie where he could have went down the road and kind of did one way or another. And he didn't. He sort of left it very kind of open-ended of like what the movie was going to say.
Yes, and I think we talked about this with the COVID stuff. He didn't make one side or the other. He let Joaquin be the guy that was like me the whole time, going, "Are you kidding me? We have to stand 6 feet apart. What are we doing? This guy needs his groceries," right? All of that stuff is great because we all had to experience that. And I think a lot of people didn't like seeing that because they were the people that were doing the shaming, and they don't want to be recalled and reminded of that.
I also love that sometimes during the Black Lives Matter sequences in the movie that you had a lot of the white characters kind of vocalizing that it wasn't their story to tell.
Yes.
And I really thought that was something that was very hard hitting too, because you do kind of feel in a lot of ways it's like this. I know it's like kind of like being an ally. I totally get that, but it's like all the stupid shit that we wound up doing during that time. I mean, the movie tackles all of it. Like, put up a black box. Like, it's just like, what are we doing here?
Oh my God,
like,
dude,
it's
that
just
was crazy.
such a weird time.
Yeah, you must do this.
And you're like, and like everyone was like judged for whether they did it or they didn't. And then like it's sort of like the movie kind of talks about it. It's like a lot of it was just kind of for show and like the social media of it all.
Yep.
Again,
virtue signaling.
There was so much interesting concepts throughout the movie that like I found it pretty fascinating all the way through, even though like some of it dragged, but like it just, I would never lost interest in the movie, which I think was so remarkable.
I agree with you. Yeah,
considering that most of his movies, I always kind of like it gets to a point where I'm like, oh, where is this going? Like, this is too much. But it was like, this was too much, but I was still into it.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I did lose some interest about an hour and a half in because it's long, right? It needs, again, just has to be tightened up, rewritten, cleaned up, grounded more, and then you have a better film. But if you listen to Sean Fantasy, I'm not going to get. I know you're. I'm not. You don't even have to say anything.
Lewis, where are you located? Is Lewis here?
He's here. He's here.
So there was walkouts at the screening.
He goes to AMC Burbank. So yeah, I mean, because people don't want to be reminded of how they acted. We've talked about that a million times. You know, how it was whole, if you don't have a mask. Remember people used to go around with cameras and go take a picture of someone who didn't have a mask on. You're an awful person. No, I actually got news for you. You're the awful person. Because who the fuck are you? Why are you policing people? Why are you freaking out about this so much? Because the government tells you to? Settle down, man. I mean, if you go through life living a life of fear, it's just no way to exist. And so many people chose that path. And that's the most disappointing part, is that so many fell under the spell of the propaganda, and that's what this film points to, and that I give Ari Aster a lot of respect for. And it's not quite the film I wanted to totally gain my trust in him again, but I have a lot more trust in Ari than I did after Beau is Afraid.
Yeah. Well, I think that time was very complicated. And it was very complicated for so many different reasons, because obviously the COVID whole ordeal created an environment that we've never, well, most people living in this current generation has never experienced anything quite like it. no one was told that they have to stay at home and not do anything. Next stream's guest Frosty.
Never. That guy. He led the charge.
But the thing is like it was such a fascinating time, but then like the movie shows, it kept pivoting to something else, to something else, to something else.
Right. Too much.
And it was such a like that was almost like that's in a way like I kind of understand why the movie was too much, because it sort of like was a very reminiscent of that time, because everything was just like every day you would wake up and you're like, what's going on now? Like something else is happening.
Well, I know.
It's a very difficult time for a lot of people to really.
Not me.
Think about. I
just hammer
I know
everyone.
Not you, Eric.
I didn't fall under it. You know that. I was the whole time. I'm like, this is all bullshit.
But a lot of people feel what really kind of the one element of this that I will say, and I'm not on Eric's like all the way over on Eric's side on this. But I like one thing that I always found very fascinating about this was we grew up in the last decade not trusting pharmaceutical companies.
Mm-hmm.
Was a really big topic that, I mean, I would think even most liberals got really strongly behind.
Yep.
And most people in general were kind of like anti like, pharmaceutical companies.
Right.
But it was really weird when like the pharmaceutical companies started coming out and telling you this was good and everything. And then I think what really started to lose me on it was like I was kind of okay with it in the beginning because I felt like it's like, I get it. Like you need to do something, you need to fix this. And like, but when they started kind of creating like multiple versions of things, and they're like, you have to do this every year and every year and every year.
Oh yeah.
Like, then it started just kind of feeling like every other kind of
subscription service.
Yeah, like it was something like you were just buying into. Like, you have to keep taking this. If you want this to work, you have to keep taking this.
Yep.
And that's where like I made a decision after like I think 2 or 3 of the shots that like I wasn't going to do anymore, because it just sort of got to the point where I was like, why, if I'm not feeling these things, like, why do I have to do it? And then I've had COVID multiple times, and I was like, got these shots. So like I know they were saying like it wasn't, this is like such a weird stream to be on tonight.
We've kind of done a little everything. That's fine. Keep going. That's fine.
But it's just so weird, just the way that everything panned out. Like, I guess what I'm saying is that we believe so much stuff without knowing all of the information. And at
Not
first,
me,
it was
like
a lot of people were like fine with it, including myself. But then when it just got to a point, like I said, where it just felt like everything just became another extension. Like, you have to do this, and then you got to take this, and then you got to take this. And then here's the thing. If you're feeling these symptoms, you got to take this thing. And it's just like, it just felt like it was the corporate machine just selling you on more products.
Well, and that's exactly what it was. I mean, at a level without question. I mean, it's one of the elements here. And yeah, but I listen, Edington without doubt has interesting ideas. It just isn't as perfectly formed as it should be. And it's not close enough to even for me to be calling this like the film of the decade, like our boy Fantasy said. I mean, I don't even think he knows what he's doing. I really don't. I've said that a million times on the stream. And I know, Scott, you don't even know. You don't even know the guy you're talking about.
I think it's funny.
But the film of the decade?
I'm looking at Johnny saying, like, this possibly the best Scott stream since Civil War.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Civil War.
Okay, by the way, he's in Civil... Luis, next time we see you up at AMC, we'll go there.
Specifically stay in Sherman Oaks.
I'll send you... No, next time you come to AMC Burbank, I will personally chide you for what you said about Sydney Sweeney, and Scott will be there, and then we can. I don't know how he'll feel about it, but I will definitely address that in the lobby of the AMC 16.
Sydney Sweeney over Mikey Madison. I mean,
no way, no chance,
no question.
No, that's really wrong, Luis. That's crossing the line. Whatever. Forget about the COVID shit and the vaccines. We're not talking, dude. The fact that you said that Mikey Madison's hotter than Sydney Sweeney is a real problem. Like, this is really alarming. Okay, this is going to be the kind of thing that people will judge you forever, Luis. Okay, so we'll see it. Scott and I will be probably there this weekend. We'll see something, some garbage film. Oh, Naked Gun, right? Are you going to see? Or are you going to go see that tomorrow? Oh, yes. Come on, wait.
I'm also not. I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not here.
Oh, that's right. You're going away. Okay, all right, fine. I'll see you Thursday. Tell me. I know this is short, so we'll talk about it tomorrow night after the movie. Everybody say thank you to Scott Menzel for being here and being open and playing along with all of the weird shit that we just did.
Yeah, I mean, this was an interesting stream. I mean, it's so weird how I just have to say this is really, again, something that I have to give Eric credit for. Eric is so comfortable in like his skin that like he literally just can say everything. And my brain, unfortunately, I can't help but think like, oh my God, like, what am I saying? How do I say this properly? And like, I'm sure I did a horrible job during much of this stream trying to explain things. But yeah, I don't know. But it is very like, again, you're very special in this space because you say how you feel, and you're so damn confident in the way you feel, and you don't hold back. That's for sure. I just think that it's very unique because I don't think there is a lot of people like that. I really don't. And it's weird because I feel like there was a time, probably a couple years ago, where I felt more free to kind of like talk openly about things and kind of like share my thoughts and like not care. But like, it's weird, like with all the stuff that has like happened in my life, both like with publicly and non-publicly. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just like, it's sort of like, it has made me in a weird way kind of more reserved in my thought process. And makes me like, I think a lot more about what I'm going to say now. If that makes sense.
100%. And I appreciate the kind words. I do. And, that's the mission here, is to just not hold back, because we just need people that don't. And if you censor yourself, it's not a good place to be. Obviously, if you have thoughts that are totally alarming, you probably should censor yourself. And there's times when I probably just not. But I think we walk to the line and then we stop. I mean, we try. And for some people, it's too much. But it is what it is, man. I mean, there's other channels. We talk about all the time, Scott, right? I say there's other people who go watch someone else. It's not what we do here. And I appreciate it, man. You're the only person who comes on. So there's a reason, because you'll just say it. And sometimes you'll tell me I'm wrong or whatever. I have no problem with that. That's how it should be. That's how good friendship should be, Scott. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Let's have a beer and let's chill out, and we'll look for Louise and harass the shit out of him.
Louise. All right, Louise. So like not this week, but next week, we should all meet on Thursday, and we can talk.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We'll do a Thursday movie. And when you're back in town, whatever the week after that is, I think it's Weapons. We'll go see Weapons, and we can talk about how Louise has lost his mind. Scott, have safe travels this week if I don't see you before then. And thank you so much for coming on tonight. Everybody, round of applause for Scott Menzel. Thank you, Scott. Yes, you're the man.
Thank you, guys.
The man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure, honestly. I mean, he does have to endure some weird questions here and some things that maybe are uncomfortable, because I do talk about stuff that most people won't, or maybe most people want to just dance around the subject. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I don't have time for that. I'm going to get ahead and get into it, because that's what we're doing. I mean, that's why I did the stream, is to be able to do these things. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get ready. It's not that yet. We're really late tonight. I mean, I'm just like running so far behind. Let's watch a trailer. You all were asking me to watch this. We're going to do Bambi coming up next. I'm going to do my Bambi evaluation, Bambi the Reckoning, live. But we are going to watch a trailer. This is from Park, who directed, you guys remember Decision to Leave? One of the best films of 2022? Well, he's back. Park Chan-wook is returning this year with no other choice. I have not seen this yet. It's a minute long. Let's watch the trailer. And again, if you saw Decision to Leave, you know that this man, in addition to everything else, I'm just talking recent, right? Because ultimately, the thing is why are you talking about that? Because that's the most recent thing that I've seen from him. So you need to talk about that. We can talk about Old Boy, but ultimately, I want to talk about what he just did, right? When I talk about Michael Mann, I'm certainly not going to talk about Ferrari. It's garbage. But you have to remember that film's not good. So I'm alarmed at what's coming now. You don't judge a director on 20 years ago. So here it comes. This is No Other Choice, expected to be a big awards film from Neon. Let's do it.
미국에서는 해고를 도끼질한다고 그런다면서요. 한국에선 뭐라 그러는지 아세요? 넌 뭐하지야? 나는 내가 그거는 넌 마음으로 날 치지 않아.
And if you've seen Old Boy, you know that Park will not have any fear going places that you're like, are you kidding me? This looks tremendous because you go back to Decision to Leave, right? And I saw someone came in the comments and said best film of 2022. It was in our top 3, right? 2022 was one of the best years we've seen in forever in film. You talk about Atar, you talk about After Sun, you talk about Decision to Leave. You talk about the Bowie documentary, Moon Age Daydream. These are 4 films that are better than anything I've seen recently. They'd be the top 4 films in any year of recent note. So 2022 is off the charts great. And you look at Decision to Leave, you're talking about a film that has the editing, cinematography, it has the screenplay, it has obviously the direction, which assembles all of that. You talk about a score, you talk about performances. Decision to Leave across the board at every single aspect of filmmaking is elite plus. Every single thing about that film. The editing is some of the best you'll ever see. Okay, the shots, and you see some of the shots here with that lighter, the slow-mo. This is going to be this is what I want to watch. I want to watch No Other Choice. I don't want to watch Fantastic Four, even though we liked it. We had fun with it back on Thursday, watched the evaluation. But this is where I want to be cinematically in this film, watching Park cook, as the kids, I don't think they say anymore, but I'm behind on the trends. They allow this guy to cook, and Neon will run a campaign on this, right? You're talking about a foreign language / international feature. You're talking about possible best picture. Let's hope it happens, because last time Decision to Leave didn't get jack shit. I don't even think it made the final, right? It didn't even get the short list, didn't get the top 5 international features, which was really weird because there's no way in hell that wasn't one of the top 5. I want to say that's the year that All's Quiet on the Western Front won for Netflix, so they almost wanted to remove competition. I think there's a lot of dirty shit that happens, right? Imagine if you have a chance to win something, you don't want someone even in the race. You're like, get rid of Decision to Leave for me, would you? Because I don't need people watching that. And that's exactly what happened, because you watch Decision to Leave and you're just like, holy crap, this is amazing. Every part of this film, like I said, every aspect. So no other choices, without question, something I'm very, very excited to see. And I imagine you guys are too, because that's the kind of film that we want to watch here. It to be dialed in. And listen, Johnny, you said that 100%. If you're not ready for Decision to Leave, you'll be left in the dust. You've got to be locked in. And even though I was locked in, I saw that at AMC 6, which is the smaller AMC here, really comfortable screen. I like those smaller AMCs here. They're really just great places to watch films like this. And I was a little bit behind because I wasn't prepared for the amount of processing, right, that it was going to take to get to where Park was going. But once I caught up quickly, because I realized, like, some films like Bambi the Reckoning, we're going to talk about in a minute, I don't have to pay attention to Bambi the Reckoning. Like, why? It's dumb as hell. It's a Bambi horror film. So I can turn off my brain. Decision to Leave, you got to have your processing power amped. Because if it's not, you're going to be dead. And If it is dialed in, you're going to be rewarded. But I think what helps in that end is if you're falling behind, let's say that a film, because it's told in different, it's really just, man, it is serpentine. You look at this film and you look at Decision to Leave, you're talking about the aspects bringing you into the film. So even if the screenplay's got you a little lost, you've got the edits, you got the cinematography, you got the score, and you've got this direction assembly that you're just like, okay, this is fucking awesome. And now I can start to access the script, because it does take, again, that high processing power to do that. And if you are, you're going to love it. It's really tremendous. I mean, 2022, again, you're talking about Decision to Leave, Tar, After Sun, and Moon Age Daydream. 4 of the best films of any year. I mean, you talk about a top 4. I would put that 4 up against almost any year in cinema. That's how highly I think of those films. Tar's a masterpiece. Decision to Leave, arguably a masterpiece. After Sun, one of the best debuts you'll ever see. And you got the Moon Age Daydream, one of the most electrifying artistic documentaries. I saw that 4 times in theaters because I love Bowie and I love how Brett handled that. I told you guys a story when I was at the screening for Moon Age Daydream. I went to multiple screenings. The second screening I went to, and I don't ever do this, I went to 2. One was down at Raleigh, and I walk into Raleigh, which is the old Charlie Chaplin, and I get ready to go in. I'm like really early because I'm like, I'm so excited to see this movie again. I'm going to be like first person in there. I thought it'd be packed. There was only like about 15, 20 people in there because the movie got totally shit. Absolutely didn't get respect that award season like it should have gotten. And Brett Morgan's walking out. And I'm like, what? I go, Brett. And he's like, yeah. I go, hi, man, Eric Weber. I love this movie. He goes, you already seen it? Oh, I already saw it. It's the second time I see it. He goes, I go, why are you here, Brett? He said, I just want to make sure that everything's right. I want to make sure the sound's right. That's how much he cared about his film. He showed up to help the projectionist make sure everything was right in the Charlie Chaplin Theater so that when people watched Moon Age Daydream, they were going to get the best experience because that's a Dolby Atmos room. And he was like, jam that thing. He told me a story. I think I've told you guys this. I'll tell you the story about Moon Age Daydream. If you haven't seen Moon Age Daydream, I'm sorry that you missed it in theaters because, man, I'm telling you, it will not play the same at home because it just was like, it's a film that's all about, obviously, the sound and the artistic vision. I saw it in IMAX multiple times, and I wish I could see it again. I would go tomorrow. I would go tonight. If there was like a midnight showing of Moon Age Daydream tonight, I would literally get off and go, okay? So he comes walking out. We're having a conversation. Nicest guy. Brett Morgan's so cool. And he obviously could tell that I loved the film. I wasn't, because I don't bullshit. When I'm talking, I'm not making stuff up. I don't have time for that. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I go, this film is just lights out, right? And he said, well, we premiered it here. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, we premiered it here at the Charlie Chaplin Theater on the Raleigh Studios lot here in Hollywood, Los Angeles. And he told me who was there. Bono, Edge, and who else was the third one? Another big time. I want to say it was Axl Rose. Brett, I should have Brett on. Ask him this question. He said he had it was definitely Bono was one. I want to say it was Edge and Axl Rose, but anyway, it was 3 huge musicians, and they were the only ones in the theater. And Brett Morgan was actually running the film, and he said he cranked the level up to like 9.9 on the audio. And he said Bono, and hopefully it was who I said, they all were like getting into it and like out of their seats going, hell yes. And I'm like, these are the stories I love. This is amazing because then it really puts you into these guys were right here in this theater watching this. It's one of the things that's awesome about LA. I got to say, we talk about a lot that, you know, if I do this from Columbus, Ohio, my hometown. If I do it from Orlando, Florida, where I used to live, or Charlotte or Boston, it's not the same because here in LA, this is where everybody is, okay? And even though I don't go to a lot of these events, I still can. And, you know, I get invited like the Strange Darling premiere and JT says hi and Roy Lee comes up and says, I watched the stream. That only happens here. It doesn't happen when you live in Ohio or North Carolina or Florida, okay? So that's awesome. But also just the fact that you know you're watching this in the exact same theater that it premiered and you had these big luminaries of rock watching this, and now you're here and you hear these stories. You just can't get that anywhere. So yes, even though I don't do as much of that as I used to, I still love the fact that I live in a town where all of that occurs. And that juice, even though it's dying, I believe LA is not nearly the city that it was, certainly in the past few years even, but before COVID, it's just not, okay? But still, it'll always be LA. It'll always be Hollywood. And regardless of however you feel about where things are going, and there's no question going down into the shitter, we still have a bunch of people that still call this home, and it's cool. I like it. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Bambi, The Reckoning, and then we'll get ready to get out of here. I had some more things, but that was... I'm on for an hour and a half. Can you... I've been on for an hour and a half. Thank God that we had Menzel tonight, or I would have been talking about myself the whole time, which is all I ever do. But you know what? I told you a story that was... I experienced, but I was telling you the story about the story. Not me listening to it. I mean, yes, I turned it into me at the end. Look, this is the problem. When I have your comments at the bottom, my lower thirds get all jacked up. This is the MMT evaluation of Bambi, The Reckoning, which is from the same directors that brought you Pooh, Blood, and Honey, which was torturously bad. Oh, God. Do we have to do it? Yes, we do. It's time for the MMT evaluation of Bambi, The Reckoning, live here on MMT. Let's do it.
Just not sure you, is it?
We're visiting his dad's family.
Oh my God. Why? They showed that in the trailer.
Out of the shadows.
You're bringing it here.
It's perfectly safe.
Happy.
Oh my Lord. I'm reliving the entire film right now. Can you even believe they made this into a movie? Apparently it's like public domain, right? A lot of these characters from these Disney films, so you can make something like Bambi or Pooh or Peter Pan or Pinocchio. Apparently it's legal, because obviously these guys keep doing it. And here we are with Killer Bambi. And even though it sounds like I'm laughing, it was the worst thing ever, I gotta tell you that this is still better than Blumhouse. I'm not kidding. Last night, I'm in this screening, and the director's sitting 2 seats away from me. That doesn't affect the review, by the way. And I was just watching it going, you know what? These guys have passion for making this. I could feel it. When they talked to intro the thing, now granted, maybe I'm getting kind of led down a path and I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm just saying, when you see this film, I will give the guys credit. They're not just making the worst version of Killer Bambi. I'm not suggesting it's a great film, but I do believe that they do a decent job with the general idea of a Killer Bambi who's angry at humanity for obviously mom, but also for the toxic waste that have turned Bambi into a mutant beast. I mean, the effects are decent. They're not great. You guys can see in the trailer. But given the budget, because these things are really low budget, it doesn't look that awful, okay? I mean, there's times that you look at it and go, but you have to understand that you just got to let it go sometimes. You can't be in a movie like Bambi the Reckoning going, oh my God, that doesn't look perfect because the budget's like $500,000 or what. It's just so minuscule. Every time they put Killer Bambi and the CGI on the screen, it costs them more money. Every second. So you go, okay, this is like a sci-fi Sharknado thing. Fine. It's really short. It's like an hour and 25 minutes. So in the realm of films I have suffered through and gone, why did I even come to the movie theater? I didn't quite feel that way. Even though you might have assumed I did, I'm going to give it a C minus, a 70. That's not great, but again, due to all the factors I just listed, I don't hate Bambi the Reckoning. That said, you should not run out to see Bambi the Reckoning. I think that's fair. I think what I just did was one of the fairest reviews I've ever done here on MMT. Did you see it? Did you agree that it's like, but right, these guys were really, the cinematographer was there and the director, and they were talking about, their love of doing this and they want to do more of these. And I'm like, okay, man, if this is your thing, then go for it. I'm not suggesting I want to be in for the next one, but if you have A-List, here's the reality, right? A-List is $28 a month that I pay to AMC. AMC then gives me 4 available slots per week to see movies. So that means, do the math, 4 times 4, 16 movies I can watch for $28 a month. You're talking at less than $2 a movie. So if I go 5 minutes down the street to AMC Burbank, I can watch Bambi the Reckoning. And if it's awful, I can either leave, I can suffer through it, I can talk about it on the stream, and it costs me literally nothing other than some time. But again, when you live so close to the theater, it's not like I'm driving across LA. One of the reasons I don't go to a lot of these screenings anymore that are all over town is because of that reason. It's just too far. I have to drive to Beverly Hills or to the west side of LA. Lionsgate is in Santa Monica. The IMAX headquarters is down in Playa del Rey, which is like near Venice Beach, really far from here. Okay, there's a lot of theaters that are really spread out. Rodeo Screening Room, Wilshire Screening Room. Those are in Beverly Hills. To get over there, I got to go across the hill, over the hill, across all through West Hollywood and all that. And it's just a long way to go. When I go to AMC Burbank, it's like going 5 minutes down the street. There's free parking, huge parking garage, many parking garages, and you park, walk in the mall where I saw this, and I walk out. It's like the easiest thing, and it doesn't cost me a lot of money. And I think ultimately, a lot of you're looking for ways because of budgeting and things, how much things are. It's a smart move. If you like movies, if you have an AMC near you, it doesn't make any sense for you not to have this. None, zero, especially as a single person, because you're going to use it. Even let's say use it 3 times a month. Okay, that makes each movie $8.50 or something, whatever, right? Whatever the exact number is. That's still cheaper. That's old school prices. Okay, so there's got to be at least 3 movies you want to see. I usually see 3 movies a week, sometimes 2, sometimes 4, but on average, I'd say 3. Right, the main film, and I try to see at least 1 for the Sunday evaluation. So last night there was nothing except for this and whatever, some small little indie thing. I forget 2 other films, and I said I just want to see Bambi because I know when I go to see it, I can turn my brain off, and I don't have to really process much. Like the opposite of Decision to Leave, right? Complete opposite. I could just let it happen. The people in the screening, I think, worked on the film because a lot of people were cheering and stuff, and which is cool. I don't mind. But it was kind of fun to experience that because people have, skin in the game. And, when you go to these screenings, a lot of times that's what it is because in LA, especially like a premiere, I remember going to TAR. Oh, I'll never forget that. Academy Museum. And obviously all the stars are there. Kate Blanchett's there. Todd Field's there. All of them. And that theater's unreal. If you've never been to LA and you want to see a movie, go to the Academy Museum and sit in the Geffen Theater. I don't care what you see. It doesn't matter what. You're going to be like, oh my God, the screen's massive. It's like an IMAX size. It's not an IMAX, but it is a level of that, right? The perfect everything. Everything is just dialed in. The sound, the acoustics, and it's also stunning to look at. it's just really something else. And if you can, go see that. But these are the things we have here that I love having. Burbank is amazing. You've got everything that I need down there. You've got a 16, an 8, and a 6. In fact, you know what I'm going to do one time? I figured I'll do this. I will actually do a live stream where I'm not kidding you. It'll go live, and I will walk with my phone from theater to theater and walk around, because the reality is I can walk in. The only problem is the 6 I'll probably have to record because it's downstairs. But I can go into the 8 and the 16. You can see these places because I go there all the time. Christopher Nolan goes to the 16. So I'll just give you an idea, because it's always fun, I think, to like experience what it's like in a certain place. I mean, you going to your local AMC in Kansas City, maybe not as exciting. When you talk about AMC 16 in Burbank, it's the number one AMC. Everyone goes there. Like I said, Nolan goes there. The stars all show up to promote their movies there because it is the hub. ArcLight used to be that here in LA, and it disappeared, as you guys know. After COVID, it just got destroyed. And they're hoping the Cinerama Dome will come back, but there's no guarantees. That whole area is kind of dead. Hollywood's bad news, man. I'm telling you. Hollywood, you get your car broken into. You'll run into homeless people everywhere. It's really nasty. Burbank's safe. It is accessible here, free parking. I have no complaints. You know, LA, on the other hand, again, even going to West Hollywood or to Beverly Hills, you're going to go through areas where you're going to see stuff that you're like, I don't even want to be around this shit, okay? Because there's no measures of control. It's out of control. The crime is out of control. I mean, you're talking about break-ins on cars. You know, I'll park my car on the street in Hollywood, I'll bet you my window will get broken out. They just reach in. There's a pair of sunglasses. I have like a pair of sunglasses that look just like this, the blue ones you saw the other night. I use them to drive. So they'd be right there. They'd be, oh, I'm taking those sunglasses. And you're like, dude, come on, man. Why'd you just steal my sunglasses? They don't care. And there's no repercussions. They break the window. Then you have to pay for a broken window. I'm not saying this happened to me, but I'm saying it would. Nowadays it would, 100%. Look around. It happens all the time here in LA. It's crazy. All right, let's do the comment blast closeout, and we're out of here. Let me get it. There it is. Any comments I didn't get to? Let me see if I got any extras here. Thank you, Matthew, for being a new member. I really appreciate it. Also for the super chat. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Always fun. I mean, I've been doing an hour and 40 minutes of this. That's ridiculous. It's too long. We're about done. I'm just about done. Matt Baloney is okay, but he's entwined in the industry. Well, exactly. He can't. He has to pull punches. Baloney, you can say whatever. Bellany, you can say whatever about him and as a journalist, but ultimately, when he has Jason Blum on, he can't go as hard as he wants to, like I could. Well, first of all, Jason would never come on here because I would just harass him about the god-awful Megan 2, one of the worst things I've ever seen, and how he thought that was acceptable as a film, as a screenplay. There's unforgivable. So, you know, that's the thing is, like, Bellany doesn't talk like this. I don't know why people even because it's a lot of, right, I know all the stuff and this and that, but he doesn't go as hard. I think in order to really do anything, you have to be able to take the gloves off and get after it. Okay, not make it personal. You don't see me, I'm not on here, by the way, talking about Jason Blum's family and his wife and his kids. I'm talking about him as his job, okay? Personal shit isn't part of this. I don't talk about Gore, and I said he's a drunk, but I don't talk about Gore's family, okay? I've never done that. It's never happened. Because I'm not like that. There's weirdos out there who do. It's fucking strange, man. That's not cool. But me saying that someone's a shill, which, by the way, I have someone's a shill. I'll get to it. I was going to do it tonight. I'm too tired. Someone who's a fraud. He's a box office fraud. We'll do it next time because I'm too tired tonight. I need a little energy for that because this guy always says this and that, and no one holds him into account. It's weird how, right? If I say something, there's going to be someone. There's just weirdos that are obsessed that come after me and go, Weber is such a jerk. He said Sydney Sweeney's hot. It's like, dudes, you're going to come after me for that shit? You're going to get after. Why? Why are you angry with me for that? People are weird, man. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Find a new obsession because I'm not the guy to worry about. I'm the guy in the space you need to say, this is the dude we need more of. Not the guy who's like, he's a problem. That's 100% inaccurate. You need more of me. You need way less Brandon Davis's. Okay? That guy's useless. Sorry, I didn't say, it's not personal. Did I say anything about him and his family? No. Did I say anything? That guy is absolutely, his words are meaningless. They have zero value. And you're going to come after me? The guy who says that A Beau is Afraid is unwatchable? that says Anora is the worst best picture in the history of the Oscars, you might not like hearing that, but you should be happy that there's someone out there doing that. Not Brandon Davis, I didn't really like it, or Sean Fennessy, well, it's from a major director, therefore it's got to be good. Fennessy's a joke. I will say this, and I haven't said it in the stream, I'll do it again. Fennessy's the biggest fucking fraud in the history of any subject and any, quote, expert in any subject ever in the history of time. That is how much of a joke that guy is. And you're going to come after me? I don't think so. You need to know that I'm the hero. That's the enemy. That's the fraud. That's the joke. Okay? End of discussion. And I'm not going to play these games anymore with these people because it's like I don't care if you don't like what I have to say. You should respect the fact that I'm saying these things because most people won't. Go. Hey, listen. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. This week, go listen to Sean Fennessy and his big picture, and you tell me if anything that's said on that comes close, approximates anything that we do here. Not one thing that you hear will come close to what we do. And you're telling me that's the guy. He's the fucking man. Give me a break. I'd have more respect if he actually came out and destroyed shit, but he won't because he's a fraud and he wants to be liked. You can't want to be liked. Wanting to be like's the death of a critic. Go watch Siskel and Ebert when they talk about that. I'll rack it and play it next week. They talk about the death of a critic is wanting to fit in or be liked. I don't have any interest in being liked by a director. Zero. Doesn't matter. I'd rather be respected. I don't need to be liked because that's all a bunch of garbage. It's fake. I don't have any time for fake shit. Thank you. Listen, but the funny thing is, right? I've been on for 1 hour and 45 minutes. And yes, Menzel came on, but I could do 145 by myself. It's just, you just flow. You just go. And I keep thinking, what's another way we can approach this or that and get as much into the show as possible? And there's stuff I probably missed. If you missed the box office information, by the way, it's always on the bottom of the screen. I put a lot of time. That takes more time than anything I do here, is literally typing in all the shit from the box office. So if you missed it, it's on the bottom of the screen. Also, we have the Midnight Movie Money. That is on Sunday morning. It's like a 20-minute stream, all talking about box office. Tonight's more like big picture stuff like we did tonight. So if you like the stream, thank you. I appreciate it. Matthew and everybody else out there, I'm done. It's over. It's over. And I need to get ready for bed. It's 10:49 here. It's way, way too late for me. You know, listen, I'm not a kid anymore, even though I have my Tron figure. There he is. There's Sark. Isn't that Sark? I think that's his name. Dude, listen, it's been forever. This is Sark, an original Tron with a disc on the back. Do you see it? There's the die. So if you question, is he also a nerd? Why do I still have a Tron figure from when I was a kid? Exactly. Because you are even though I'm not nerd this or geek that or figure collector this. No, I just am. You are or you're not. There it is. Thanks for being here. See you back on Thursday night for Naked Gun. I'm going to wait till Thursday to see it. I heard it's an hour and 25 minutes. That's exciting, and Sark's excited too. I hope that's Sark. Thanks for being here. Peace out, everybody. Have a good week.